This year we'll be focusing on Sheni to Shlishi in each of the Parshios, God willing. And in Perek Zayin of Parshas Noach, Pasuk Aleph, it says, Vayom Hashem LaNoach Bo Ata V'chol Beischa El Teva Ki Ascha Isi Tzaddik B'fanai B'dar Hazeh. Hashem says to Noach, come you and your family to the ark, and because you I saw as a righteous person, a tzaddik before me in this generation. However, if we go to the beginning of the parsha, it says, Elo Todos Noach, Noach is tzaddik Tamim Haya B'dorosav. It describes his qualities as tzaddik and Tamim in his generations. He was righteous and pure and perfect. So the question is, why at one point does he call him tzaddik and Tamim, two languages of praise, and later on it says only that he was a tzaddik, that he was righteous. So Rashi explains the explanation as teaches us midos, that you only say part of a person's praise in front of him, not his full praise in front of him. So when he was talking directly to Noach as he entered the ark, so there he was said only tzaddik, not the full praise. But when he was talking in general about Noach and says tzaddik tamim, the full praise. However, the Chidah gives an incredible explanation. He says that the term tzaddik and tamim refers to different characteristics of righteousness. That will make sense because Noach lived during two generations. That's what it says b'dor sav, his generations. The Dar HaMabul, the generation of the flood, the Dar HaFlaga, the generation of the Tower of Babel. They were both sinful and they were punished. So each one had a characteristic of their primary sin. Regarding the Tower of Babel, let's start with the flood at the beginning of the parsha. Regarding the flood, their characteristic was sexual immorality. They believed in God, but they did whatever they wanted. They gave in to different types of immorality. And so corresponding to this, the Chidah says we're talking about the language of tzaddik, righteousness, that Noach was not nifsal. He didn't fall into this category. And we see the language of tzaddik regarding sexual immorality, that someone who's good at not being involved with that was Yosef HaTzadik, because he resisted the temptations of his boss's wife when she tried to seduce him. The generation of the Haflaga, of the Tower of Babel, so they had a level of Tamim regarded, they were Ovdei Avodah Zarah, they served idol worship. And Noach did not serve idols, he believed in God, and he learned Torah. Rashi says that he learned Torah, and whatever that means at that point. But he learned Torah just like Yaakov was Ishtam Yoshev Oholim. He was a pure man, sat learning in Torah. So corresponding to that generation, that's what the Tamim is referring. So now if we look back at the Psukim, it makes sense. When Hashem says before he goes into the ark at the time of the generation of the flood, he says, you are a tzaddik before me in this generation that they were nichshal in more sexual immorality, therefore you're a tzaddik. But when he's talking about his overall history of both generations that he lived in, so he's talking about tzaddik for the generation of the flood, and Tamim regarding his level for the generation of the Haflaga. Wishing you a wonderful week and a wonderful year.